Hey guys. All right, so let's get started. The first thing that I want you to do is I went and got a piece of paper. I think some people may be comfortable tracing a jar onto the paper, and then that way you can make the jar more accurate for this picture. If you don't need to trace a jar, you can fold your paper in half and then just look at the jar and draw the jar. So I'm just going to draw the jar. I'm going to hold the jar and look at the jar and draw the top if I want a stencil, okay? I found that most people are more comfortable with a stencil. Okay, so I drew a little stencil. Hope you can see that. Got two cameras going. And then I just leave it folded and make sure the folded part is the center. And then I cut this out and I have a jar. Okay, it needs a little work, right? It's like a milk jar right now. Let me fix that. That's not it. Okay, maybe this is it. Is this it? Let me look here. It still needs a little work. Anyway, hope you're picking up what I'm putting down here. Just want you to, I'm going to make mine a little shorter. Okay, I'm really comfortable with it now. I think it looks great. So spend a little time with that. Or you can just sketch it on. You are going to need red, yellow, you put these on the floor, tiny amount of black, Hope everybody had a happy 4th of July. Blue, you're going to need some blue. And then you are going to need some white. Okay. Ooh. Let me just rub that in. Ooh, hold on. Okay, so here are the colors. That's about how much I got. Normally I squeeze too much. You don't really need that much paint. And then you can either take a pencil or you can take a paintbrush, and you also need a cup of water. Forgot that. Here's my cup of water. I've had this jar for years. Look at that. Back when I used oil paint. So you can either take a yellow on a paintbrush and you can sketch in your jars, or you can use a pencil. So I, for you, am going to sketch my jars, and I'm going to use paint because it's easier for you to see, okay? And I want to make sure you can see it really well. If I could get my image to pop up. I use all these different devices when I make this happen. So I like the picture that has a little bit of I want the jar to be up on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to just use a little bit of paint and a small brush. I love yellow. You guys know I love yellow. It's like the sun. It cheers me up. And just gonna paint the jar. Does everybody see it? Okay, and you need 3 of those. So just do 1, 2, 3. Okay. Go ahead and just paint around the edges. Remember, it's okay if you mess up a little bit. We cover over this. That's another reason why I like to pick yellow. It covers over well. A friend suggested to me that I add my PayPal onto my page. That way, if people want to make donations, they can totally make donations. to paint with Grace. So I'm gonna try to figure that out later and add that on, because right now I'm just doing all these for free, but I feel like art is so important and you guys should make. Maker's gonna make. And I'm really looking forward to this quarantine, COVID-19 being over. And I'm so grateful for everything that the doctors have done, and the nurses and the people that go out every day. So, how about it? Then you're gonna wash your brush. Okay, wash that brush. And you can just save your jar. You might need to use it for another paint party. All right. Now, what I want us to do is paint our background, because our background needs to dry first. You can paint your background whatever color you want. I think I'm gonna use like a light pink. The picture has a white background, but it's mostly gonna be white, but I'm just gonna add a little pink to it. So I'm just gonna take white, pick up some white and move it. Then I'm gonna dip a little bit into that and just make like a skin tone pink. And I'm just gonna put that in the background and add white to it as I paint it, so it's gonna be really light. It's really, really light. And I want you to paint the top and the sides. You need to cover all of the canvas. So, and remember, if you touch the yellow and it blends, don't worry about it. You can paint over it. Probably paint all the way down to wherever you want your table to be. So I'm going to paint all the way down to here, about halfway down, maybe a little more than half. And then I'm going to paint the rest like a table. So, yeah, that's what I want to do. See how the yellow's mixed in there a little bit, but that doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like it, actually. I might even blend that in a little. I think it's really nice. Everybody's concerned about school, and I just hope everybody can remember that we're all doing the best that we can. You know, I guess it's just it's new territory. None of us know. None of us know what's going to happen or what to do. We just have to be kind to each other. So go ahead and make sure you pick up the side of your canvas also and paint the sides and the top. Okay. Awesome. I love that the yellow blended in there a little bit. All right. Now, what you're going to do to make brown. If you have brown, you use brown. If you do not have brown, you need to make brown. So, I love Christmas, and I use red and I use green to make brown. So, just pick up some red. And then I need to make green because I don't actually have any. So, I'm going to scoop up some blue and I'm going to scoop up some yellow. And I can already tell you, I used way too much yellow because I'm not going to use all that. Anyway, and then I just blend the yellow and the blue together to make green, and then I mix the green with the red. Then I can add a little white to it. And then if I want, I'm going to add more yellow to mine just because I have so much yellow. That'll make it a lighter brown. See my brown? And then I'm just going to paint my brown on the bottom down here. Kind of like it's sitting on a table. Just going to paint it on here. We finally got some rain too. I'm so excited that we got us some rain. Makes me happy. I'll tell you. We watered our garden. We watered our garden every single night. And I'm really relieved that it rained because I think that means I can probably take a tiny break tonight. I don't have to water the garden. Just realized that I need to bring my table up. Bring it up to there. sure you paint the sides. You know, and if you're at home and you're doing this and you have more time, you can always pause this video. You could paint the background a solid brown down here and then just do the light color up here and then come back and trace your jar. But, you know, I try to get this done in about an hour. That way I can go spend time with my kids. So mine is, I do it like this so that it dries quickly and I can finish in an hour. But there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? And thanks for joining in. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. So then wash your brush when you get that finished. Wash your brush. And then the next step is to start working on our jars. So these are going to have stripes, red and white stripes, and then we're going to actually mix a little black on there to make them look like they're round. And then this one is blue with stars. So you may want to take a piece of that scrap paper and actually make a star for yourself so that you can trace the same star so that it's consistent. Or if you want, you can freehand it. You can do it either way that you want to. So go ahead and get a smaller brush and some blue paint. And I'm actually going to I may just freehand mine. I may just freehand these in. So let me just go ahead and, I tell the kids at school, oh, you know what, I can't put the star there because I started to paint over it. Let me put the stars other places. I tell the kids at school to do an upside down V, a sideways V, 2 sideways V's, okay? And then do like a letter W. That's what I tell the kids at school. And it makes a nice star. So, I love America. I think the media is so bad. It's terrible. I don't even watch the news anymore because it's not all true. It's like they just zoom in on all the negative stuff and it makes everybody upset. So go ahead and just have fun. Throw some stars on there. Wherever you want the stars to, you can have as many as you want. And then go ahead and cover over all of the yellow, okay? Cover over all of the yellow. That's bad. Oh, I'm just going to cover over that one. If you don't like it, just paint over it, and then you can always paint the stars on top, okay? Yeah. Have fun. That's what I say. Have fun. So, you can choose whatever type of flowers you want to in your inside the jars. You guys can choose that. Do whatever you want. I might put some black-eyed Susans in mine. When Tony and I got married, we picked the flowers in the yard. Also, just so everybody knows, I'm pre-recording this video today, and because I have a friend date tomorrow. So I'm going to try to post this video because I do know that lots of people don't actually watch live. You know, and I've noticed I don't really have that many questions until after, you know, like later on in the afternoon. So I can answer those questions just with Facebook Messenger. And so I'm pre-recording this video because it's a little rainy today. So go ahead and fill your blue jar in. I am going to actually do this also to mine. And then I want to show you how to go ahead and make this look round. What you want to do is choose a side that's light and choose a side that's dark. So I'm going to make this side of my jar dark on each jar. It's going to be darker, so I'm going to dip in a tiny amount of black. You can add more black, so don't put too much, okay? And then I'm just going to paint round, just like all the other lessons that we've had together. I just want to make this look round, okay? So I'm going to paint down like a U so that it actually looks round. And then I'm going to blend blue in with it, okay? So go ahead and paint that down. And then what you're going to do is pull blue to the other side. That's a little bit too dark, but I probably need to wash my brush. Wash your brush and then mix the blue in. And then what we're going to do is mix a little white to the other side to make a highlight. So go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little white, and I'm going to put some white on this side and blend that in. And that looks like a highlight. Just a small amount, not too much, okay? I don't want to use too much. But I make that look a little lighter. And then I pull it down like a U to the center, okay? Oh, there's some green in there. Not any good. No green. Don't want the green, but it happens. Okay. I think you can kind of tell in the video what's going on here. So I'm blending this to the middle. Then I'm just going to pick up blue, and I'm going to cover on top, and I'm going to pull that all the way across like a U, okay? And hopefully you can see what it's doing. It starts to turn the jar into a three-dimensional object. It looks three-dimensional, okay? And you may need to spend a little more time on this. If you need to pause the video, feel free to pause the video so that you can work on your jar and make sure that your jar looks three-dimensional. And then what I like to do is I like to add a little black shade on the outside because I think it just is a nice finish. Okay, and then there are, even in the jar, there are some lines that go across the rim. So if you want, what you can do is outline this lip like that, okay? Blend that in. You're going to do this with the ones with the jars on the side too, the stripes. So it's the same technique all over the place. Same technique. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the stripes. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I want you to paint the stripes round, down like a U too. Okay, so down. 1. This one's going to be all red, okay? And this one is too, so you might as well paint these together so they look similar. So red, white, red, throw that red in there. And then this top is actually going to be red. So this whole top is going to be red, okay? How about it? Then just fill this in. And then remember, we're going to add a little black to the corners. Now I am going to wait and do my white later because it needs to dry. Because I'll make pink. And there is no pink in the American flag. So I do not want to have any pink in my flag. I'm going to go ahead and fill all this in. All of these in red. I have taken my kids to do so many different hikes this year. It's been really nice. The only thing we've had to be careful with, have been a lot of people out. I saw a lot of people. We went to Hanging Rock. We went to the Lower Cascades, and we took our dog, and he is 16. And we had to carry him down the steps. I forgot that it's hard for him to climb stairs, and so we didn't want to leave him at home. God love him. So we carried him up and down all those stairs, and I was like, okay, this is your last trip. And then at the very end, he tried to climb some stairs on his own because he was like, put me down, I can do it. When really he couldn't do it. So we had to pick him back up. And thank goodness Wheeler is so strong. He is turned into just like this strong boy. He helps me all the time. Elena said she would carry him. So I didn't let her try. Yeah, so fill these in. I want to go to the Buffalo. They've opened the Buffalo back up. And I saw that one of my friends on Facebook went and took some really beautiful pictures. So I'm really hopeful that that will be our next adventure. The only thing is, this time of the year, my kids want to swim. So that's why I like Hanging Rock so much, because there's that really nice place to swim. There's a lot of nice places to swim. We're so blessed to live in a great place with creeks. And the pool opened. I need to take myself an aerobics class. Is what I need to do. Sign up for water aerobics. It looks so fun. All right. Now, that is what most of the picture is supposed to be like. So what I want you to do now is dip your black. Dip into the black. A tiny amount of black. Remember, just a tiny amount. And then on the side over here, do what you did before, where you just blend this in to make this a darker red. And I put a little more than I probably should have, but I can pick that up a little and move that across. And just paint sideways like a U, okay? You're painting round. You're thinking round because these jars are round. And then you're just going to blend that in, okay? Does everybody see it? I hope you can see it. Because we can put white highlights later. I do not think we should add too much white to this because then it can turn the jar pink. We can add a tiny amount, but we don't want to do too much of that because it's America and it's red, white, and blue. Just definitely don't want to add too much. So I am going to add a little outline to this. You can see what happens as I add that to it. I think it makes it look really good when I blend that to the side a little bit like that. Just kind of pull it in. It makes it look super round, okay? And that's the goal. Going for round here. All right, guys. I'm gonna wash this. I got a little bit on the bottom and I didn't mean to do that. So wash your brush whenever you need to. I don't like to wash my brush that much. I'm gonna pick that up and wipe it. You can also pick it up and wipe it like I just did. That's another good idea. And then I just dipped into red and now I'm blending the red on top like that. And that just makes it a little lighter. Blends that in. Okay. And then what I want to do, remember what I said, don't do too much of this, okay? You don't want to overdo it. So the next thing that you should do is maybe even just a tiny amount of the white, okay? Tiny amount of the white. And then on this side, just kind of come in and just do a faint white. It's a little pink, but it's like a light white, okay? I know you can see it. Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit so it looks like a highlight here. That's too much. See how that looks bad? That's too much. Don't do that. Pick that up with a napkin. You can pick it up with a napkin or you can pick it up with a paintbrush if you want. I just use a napkin sometimes like I did. Just dab it because you don't want too much. And voila. Voila. You know what? I just found another teacher phrase I'm going to use. It's hocus pocus, now we focus. So I say hocus pocus and the kids say, now we focus. And I can't wait to use it. I think they're going to love it. I'm going to throw some white down here too and maybe a little red reflection. Does everybody see that? Just a little bit on there. Okay, and then I'm going to wash again. We are almost done. I know it's going to take you a little longer than it takes me, okay? That's why it's good for you to pause the video, all right? Just pause the video. Don't worry about it. It's okay if it takes you a longer time. We all do this on our own pace. Remember, if we were actually together on the back of your canvas, there would be a scripture of the day, and it would say something like, you're important, you're special, people love you, you are loved, right? So I'm sorry we can't be together, but at least you can go do this at your house and maybe with your family and maybe with your kids. And then I'm going to fill this in with white, and I think it's mostly dry now, so I'm going to show you what to do to make this look more three-dimensional. Oh, that's a little red. See, that's what we don't want to happen. We don't want it to turn pink. So wash your brush if that happens. Let's see here. And what you're going to do is just pick up a little bit of that black again and make that same side gray, okay? That's all you're going to do. You're going to pick up the black and make the same side gray. So I'm just going to pick up a tiny amount of black. I'm going to come down and make it gray. Okay? Woo! Woo! We did it. Woo! Okay. All right. And then I can even add more white and kind of pull that to the middle to make a lighter gray. Hope you can see it in the camera, but it's a lot lighter. And now the other side is just straight white. So if I pull that to the middle like this, okay. Now I've got 3-dimensional jars that look like America. Okay, and then wash your brushes. And the very, very last step, if you want, you don't have to. You could just write God Bless America on the top, or you could just write, you know, freedom. You could put whatever you wanted to on the top of this. And then, or you can stick flowers in there. So originally the post that I shared had flowers. So I'm going to add flowers. I'm going to use a smaller brush. And I'm going to actually make Black-Eyed Susans because I love them. Like I said, that's what we used in our wedding, Tony, when we got married. So I'm just going to overlap this, and I'm going to make, you guys could do whatever kind of flowers you want to. I'm going to put a few of these. Oh, and we might need green again for this reason. So I'm just going down, I'm just pulling down with my brush, and I'm making petals, and then the top's going to be like an upside down U, okay? Because this time of the year, all of the Black-Eyed Susans they just bloom. We got married in August, and there were still Black-Eyed Susans everywhere. And I just love them. I just really love them. So then I'm going to just pick up some black with my yellow, because I don't want to wash my brush. And I'm going to do that. Okay? Just on top, I'm going to dab it. Just dab a little. I'm going to dab my tops in. Like that. Now I just need to mix myself some green. I'm going to wash both my brushes. Mix myself some green. So here's some blue and some yellow. Here's some green. And I can go in front of these or behind these. So pick up your brush if you want it to go in front. And then you can cover it if you want it to be in the front, I mean. And then behind you just pick your brush up. So you can just add some green. I have to mix a little bit more. Mix a little green. I'm just going to throw some green everywhere, and that's it. That's all you can do. I mean, you could add some highlights to your petals if you want, and some shade to your petals if you want to. Like I might use a little bit of red in there and come in and just do maybe the bottom sides of each petal. Maybe a little dirty brown, that would look cool too. Maybe just a little. Just for some contrast. How about it? Yeah, so you just have fun with this, and I hope you guys are all well and you're safe and healthy. And thanks for tuning in. And I miss you. And I'll talk to you soon. You take care. Don't forget to sign your picture.